Go ahead and close your eyes, relaxing your forehead, smoothing out the corners of your eyes and your mouth. Unclench your jaw and relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. We're going to go ahead and take a nice deep breath in together. Inhale through the nose and exhale out the mouth. Another deep breath in and exhale out the mouth, letting go. If you closed your eyes, you can go ahead and open them up now. Welcome back to Mindful Moves with me, your host, Daniela Jensch. It is lovely to be back, and the topic that we are going to be diving into today is so incredibly relevant to this very day that I am experiencing. Confidence. A word that I think many of us would love to associate with ourselves, yet so many of us don't. I feel like it is a lovely word when you see someone and they're walking around the world or life or down the street with this energy around them, right? Like they have like this thing about them, and it's not cockiness and it's not arrogance, it's confidence. And I think a lot of us would like to embody confidence and be confident beings. I'm going to tell you exactly how to get confidence and how to be a confident, radiant human in just literally one step. And this all started for me when I started actually this podcast and I started sharing myself with the world, because I've gotten a lot of messages from people, or I've spoken to people in my personal life, friends, family members, just asking me, how is it that you put yourself out there and you just you don't care, and isn't it scary, and what made you do this? And I think anytime we're putting ourselves out in the world, whatever that looks like, people automatically assume it's just natural confidence that you've had forever. But I'm here to tell you that confidence can be learned. Confidence is actually something that should be learned, because if you do it correctly and if you do it in a way that is authentic, it will be such a big part of your energy system and it will radiate from the inside out. Now, the only way that I got to this point now is not because I've always thought very highly of myself. That's actually the opposite. I have gone through some times where I genuinely didn't think that the work I wanted to put in the world should even go in the world. I was scared to do it. I really cared about what people thought about me, and I often associated any form of validation from the outside, right? Which I've touched on the previous topics. But what was different here is I think it was around a year and a half ago, just before setting up the recording and starting with this podcast, I heard someone say that confidence is not something that you inherently usually have. The most confident people in the world are just the people who do what they say they're going to do. It is actually sticking to your word and sticking to what you put out energetically or through words or whatever it may be. And I think that this is such a beautiful concept. And from hearing it, it's super simple. It's okay, just show up for yourself and do things for yourself, or do the things that you say you're going to do. But so often it's difficult to do that if you don't have confidence. So it's like a catch-22 situation. It's asking you to be this confident, productive person who does everything that they say they're going to do. But if you don't have confidence, then it's difficult to do it. So here's my advice from my personal experience. The day you decide that you want better for yourself, the day that you decide that you deserve better, you don't even have to love yourself yet. If you're on that journey and you're not quite there yet, you don't even have to prioritize it as much yet. But what you do need to do is just decide. We have free will, and we are fully capable of deciding we can have a completely different life. This is something that completely blows my mind when I speak to people, and I see them and I see that they have so much potential. They have so much inside them ready to just be completely spread out into the world in whatever form that looks like for them, even if it just means being themselves and not wearing this mask. And so many people have that. And all I want to say to them is, I just want to shake them and say, you deserve to live your life exactly the way you want to live it, without the scrutiny and the, oh my goodness, the effort of caring so much about what people think, because it's exhausting, right? And so what I say, what I advise, is to build confidence in a steady and slow way. If you know me, if you've listened to this podcast, you know that I always advise small steps make the biggest difference. If you're able to take a small step towards what you want every single day, you are going to get there at some point. And I think that a lot of the time what blocks us, I mean, in my case, for example, perfectionism, wanting to sit and plan the perfect way to do things, to set up things, to record things. I said this in the previous episode about this plant. I could have waited until I had my studio sorted or it all arranged for me to begin. You just need to start, because you need to learn. I've learned so much in the last few weeks already of what I enjoy, what type of content I want to put out there, what makes me feel fulfilled, because so often we will consume so much content that you think that's what you're supposed to do. You can do anything that you feel comfortable with. But how you're going to do that is showing up consistently for yourself. So it's kind of two topics. Confidence is the main thing I want to speak about in this episode. But when you do the things that you say you're going to do, yes, you naturally build confidence, but you also build a new life. You build the life of your dreams, the one that you actually truly desire, whether it's changing certain habits or anything like that. And something I want to say to you is that it's deeper than confidence. If you are able to show up for yourself, you are doing, I don't want to use the word better, but you are doing something so incredibly rare that there is no way you won't succeed. There is not many people in today's world who actually can be consistent with their goals, with their actions, and sticking true to their morals and values. And this has been a big thing that has been in my life the last few, let's say, years. Morals and values and being able to show up for yourself and in an authentic way is absolutely everything in this world. This is you in the world. This is how you come across. You want to be someone who says, hey, if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And people naturally can feel that energy around you. They can rely on you. They know for sure that if you say something, it's 100% going to come true. There's nothing worse than being a flaky person. Let's be honest. Being a flaky person in today's world is not the goal, is not where we want to be. And if we are able to build confidence through literally the tiniest bit of action every single day, that is going to make you into the most rare percentage of human beings who actually get to where they want to be. And I know that it's a mixture between tough love of saying, go, get it done, and listen to your body and check in with yourself. There is a line, but at the end of the day, you need to know what works for you. This is something that I tell almost everybody in my life. Stop trying to look outside of yourself at people who share whatever, books, gurus, anyone on the internet, anyone in reality, celebrities, whoever you look up to. Stop looking to them for your answers. So often we are so ready to buy a step-by-step on how to do this and how to achieve a certain lifestyle or whatever it may be, when at the end of the day, we need to be the people who just show up for ourselves, and we need to figure out what it is that works for us, because all of us are completely unique, which is actually a bizarre concept, because every single one of us is so unique and so different. So if you can learn how you work and how you function best, there is no doubt in my mind that you will be successful. And so with confidence is daily action. That is it. That is how you build confidence. If you want to be a confident person, if you want to walk into a room and hold the room and hold space, and if you want to be the person that you look up to so much, you just need to embody them. And what I like to do, a nice little tactic I like to do, there's days, oh my goodness, we all have days. We have days where we don't want to show up for ourselves. We don't even want to show up for the rest of the world. We literally just want to crawl away and completely isolate or self-sabotage or whatever it may be. There are days like that. But on those days, that is the most important time to show up for yourself. I'll give you an example. Today, I have had a crazy day. I have had just the most crazy, bizarre things happening all at once. And it didn't stop me once. Not once did I think, okay, I'm just gonna post my episode one day late. It's okay. Like who would really notice? I'm not like a giant creator. Like if I postpone this by one day, what's the real difference? The thing is, if you're doing it for the people who are listening, now obviously I love sharing with you guys and I love the conversations and the community and everything that comes with this. But a very, very large aspect is I want to and have learned to show up for myself. It's not really about pushing back by a day. That's an issue. If I was really not well or whatever it may be, of course, if it was a genuine, not just a crazy busy day, then I would understand. The point being is I show up for myself because I know how much it means to me. It fills up my cup. But I'm only here now, sitting on this chair, able to say this to you after years of not doing that. I wouldn't show up for myself. I would show up for absolutely everybody else around me. And it's no wonder, if you think about it from a different perspective, it's no wonder the people who are less confident, you can almost see it. It makes sense because their cups are super empty. They don't fill up from the inside. They try and get it from the outside, but it doesn't work. It's like trying to pour oil into water. It doesn't work because you are the only person who can fill it up from the inside. The most confident people in the world, the happiest people in the world, the people who exude that beautiful energy, those people have learned to show up for themselves because they've realized that they deserve it. So let's say you're at a point in your life where you're stuck. You don't think you deserve to show up for yourself. You don't know how to show up for yourself. This is how I started, and I love to share this story. And the holistic psychologist on Instagram, and she's got a beautiful book. She's got 2 books actually, and they're beautiful to read. This method absolutely one of my biggest life changes. And this building confidence, instead of trying to jump really far over the line and say, okay, I am going to go to the gym 7 days a week and I'm going to go for X amount of time, and it's going to be very overwhelming. The way that you show up for yourself and build that confidence by keeping a small promise to yourself every single day. So how I started, how I'm going to show up for myself is literally just write down 3 things I'm grateful for every morning when I wake up. That's it. Doesn't matter how moody I am when I wake up. It doesn't matter if I wake up on a good side of the bed, bad side. It didn't really matter my state. It didn't really matter my story that I was telling myself. I don't have time. I don't feel like it. There's no time in the day. I've got so much to do. If your story is drawing you away from what you truly want to do, you need to make consistent action happen until that part of your brain is basically overridden, if that makes sense. Once you learn how the brain works, it's a beautiful, beautiful, wow, it's a whole journey and it's a whole new path because you learn that you can rewire your brain. But the only way you can rewire your brain is by consistent action, and it has to be repetitive. Repetition is key. If you are consistent with anything, if it is even just what I did, for example, picking up a journal and writing 3 words or 3 sentences. I did 3 words in the beginning because I didn't want it it needs to be so small that it's almost impossible to not do in the beginning. So you could even do something more simple than that. Maybe that's too much effort for where you're at right now. Maybe your nervous system is just not ready for big change. That's okay. I always say we can be in a very bad place in our life, but if one thing doesn't work for you, find a solution. Find something easier. So if what I just said about the gratitude journal feels too difficult right now, or it feels too overwhelming, start smaller. Promise yourself you're going to drink a glass of water every morning. Promise yourself you're going to brush your teeth first thing in the morning. Whatever it may be, keep it super small and make sure you keep that promise to yourself every day. And what we're busy doing there is building confidence, because you are finally showing up for yourself. And this is telling your brain and telling your body and telling your whole being that you are worth showing up for, whereas before that might not have been the case. And when your entire being is on the same level and on the same page that you are worthy of showing up for yourself, that's where that confident energy starts. That's what gets projected outwards, and you don't need anybody to do that for you. And that is the whole mind game behind it. Nobody can show up for yourself, for you. Nobody else can do that work for you. So you can have all the money in the world. You can have all the properties in the world. You can have absolutely everything in the world. You could have the biggest family. You could have everything. You could, on paper, have absolutely everything. If your insides don't align, if your soul doesn't align with that, if your being is constantly looking outside and waiting for people to say, wow, you did a good job, you will never feel fulfilled. Not even one time. And you might not even be confident, even having it all in the world. A lot of the time, people who are constantly trying to achieve and trying to do too much to the point that there's a misalignment or let's say there's not enough balance in their life, it's often not from the right intention, right? So if your intention shifts, your intention says to you, okay, my intention is to start showing up for myself. Maybe your intention is to be a confident being. Maybe your intention is to finally step out of your comfort zone. The only way you're going to do that is by changing something in your life. If you don't change anything, your day is going to look, and I'm not exaggerating, your day is going to look exactly the same. Your life is going to pass by in a second, and you're going to sit and have those regrets. And that's genuinely not what I want for you. I want every person in this lifetime, at whatever age, to just stop and recognize their worth, recognize that they are worth showing up for. If you're able to show up for yourself, you're going to be a confident being, and I can give that to you in writing. That confidence is your glowing bubble. Like I always say with the light, that's your light. That's who you are. That's how you project into the world, and it is effortless. When I say confidence, like I mentioned in the beginning, it's not this arrogance and it's not this big ego thing. It's a warm, bright energy feeling. You can feel those people, you know who I'm talking about, those people who just, you see them and you can feel that energy from them, that they know who they are, that they know that they're worthy, and they know that what they are doing is worth their own time. They don't beg for attention. They don't beg for outside validation. They give it to themselves, and they are subtle and sweet and discreet about it. And that's what we want, right? Because I think a lot of us, we have so many beautiful things we want to do in this lifetime, which we should. We shouldn't just keep it on repetition and have the same day every day, right? A lot of people want that, but a lot of people struggle to get there, and they want to jump very, very big steps. Now, in our society, instant gratification versus long-term gratification or delayed gratification is a big one because people think delayed gratification is the longer route. They avoid it and they'd rather go instant, right? But if you compound that, if you do instant gratification every single day, for example, you're never going to get to where you want to be. But if you just dedicate X amount of time, I'm a firm believer your life can literally change in 3 months, 6 months, whatever it is. It doesn't need to take 7 years. People don't realize how impactful taking X amount of time, you can choose your own amount of time, just dedicating it to building that inside confidence. That inside confidence is all you need to get through this life. There's obviously other factors, I understand that. But that is one of the biggest ones because confidence and self-love, they go hand in hand. Those two are very much connected. And this is something that I hope you take with you. If you are someone that wants anything in this lifetime, it can be the smallest thing to the greatest thing. If you want to start a family, or you want to step out of your comfort zone and travel, or you want to do something impactful in the world, whatever it is, it could be even something super small, like be a good neighbor. If you want to do or achieve anything, you have to start here. And although it can feel like the more daunting option, it's the one that brings true reward. It really feels fantastic when you start aligning with yourself, with your morals, your values, you show up for yourself, and you can truly feel confident in that. I can sit here now and talk to you because I really truly believe that this is the most key to my growth. And I can sit here with that confidence and share that with you. But if I hadn't shown up for myself for however long I've been doing that now, if I hadn't done that, I wouldn't be sitting here today. I would probably be sitting at my desk, planning, writing down, I wish I could do a podcast, or I wish I could just follow this dream. I wish I could go travel and work on an island. I would be sitting and planning. And when you get stuck in the planning phase, this is where everything derails your life. Because guess what? Life is always going to be busy. There's never going to be a moment of, oh wow, I have this big pause and I can just do everything that I've always wanted to do. You need to integrate your dream life into your current life. Build the confidence to do so, and then exude that confidence out. That is it. Just start doing what you say you're going to do. Build that trust within, and then I can promise you, you will have that really deep, profound confidence, which obviously links to self-love, and it will radiate from the inside out. And you will be able to attract any desire that you want in this lifetime. You won't have to chase it. You won't have to run after it. You will just show up as yourself, and everything you want will come towards you. So with that, remember, the light that you're constantly seeking outside of yourself is waiting to be acknowledged within. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. I hope that whatever you took from this episode, you integrate immediately and don't wait to start your life. It's already begun. Start. Just get going. See you next week.